Introducing Royal Caribbean's newest ship, Icon of the Seas, the ultimate family vacation. The ultimate 6 slides, 8 neighborhoods, 0 compromise vacation. The ultimate never done that, can't wait to do it vacation. The ultimate chillin' by a different pool every day of the week vacation. This is the Icon of vacations. Icon of the Seas, arriving in 2024. Book today. Come seek the Royal Caribbean. Ships Registry, Bahamas.
Welcome in to Missing the Point. I'm the real BK, Bob Kelly. I'm here with Rayshawn Buchanan, Mike Marcangelo. And guys, the greatest time of the year is here. It's football season, officially. It is football season. We got Patriots preseason on right now. It finally feels like it's here. And along with every football season with Missing the Point, you get the power rankings. All right, so this is our first power ranking show of 2022. We're going to try and stir up some controversy this year. But Mike, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. I mean, whether it's preseason or not, you know that when the power rankings are out, that it's the most wonderful time of the year. So I'm glad to be here with you, Real BK. I'm glad to be here with the man that needs no introduction, but deserves to be acknowledged, Hollywood Wale, Rayshawn Buchanan. And I'm ready to get after it.
That was a hell of an intro for Rayshawn. I like that.
Yeah,
is that your wrestling intro? Is that what that just was?
Yeah, pretty much. And then some stuff I've been feeling on social media when it comes to this show with some other stuff I do. I just feel like we are, the main event. So, we should be acknowledged. So, and these power rankings are part of the main event season that we're coming into. So, yeah, listen, we already know how the power rankings went for us last year. Like that got us exposure on TikTok. It got us exposure on the actual show with people starting to listen to us. So, yeah. Anytime this stuff comes out, regardless of if it goes right, it's going to cause controversy. If it goes wrong, it's still going to cause controversy. So whether it's amongst us, whether it's amongst our audience, I'm just ready to get into it. So let's do it.
All right. So with that, listen, we'll just jump right in. So we don't need to touch on much about the 32 to 21. I'll just run right through them. You guys can give me any thoughts that you have. So last in the league, starting out the season, we have the Houston Texans. I think that's an obvious one. Davis Mills to me. Well, all right. Well, we'll get there. Davis Mills to me might be the worst quarterback in the NFL, starting quarterback in the NFL. Then we have the Falcons. Listen, they lost Matt Ryan, Julio, Gage, Ridley, all within a year and a half. That's going to be tough for an offense to come by. Jags at 30, Panthers 29, Seahawks 28, Jets 27, Giants 26, Bears 25, Lions 24. The football team, also known now as the Commanders, at 23, Steelers 22, and the Saints at 21. Just two things that stick out to me is I got to point out that the Seahawks might be having the worst quarterback competition in the history of the NFL this year, with Drew Lock and Geno Smith competing. I'm pretty sure it's the worst one since my boys, Quincy Carter, Chad Hutchinson, and Drew Henson.
And Drew Henson, yeah, wow.
Yeah, competed for the game. So,
Michigan, right.
Yeah, so that to me is something worth pointing out. But yeah, what do you guys think? Mike, I know you already disagree with 32.
Yeah, I just, how do you, a team that loses Russell Wilson and their replacement plan is either Geno Smith or Drew Lock, that is, they have the worst starting quarterback in the league. Like, I don't want to put too much disrespect on Drew Lock's name. Geno Smith sucks. I think
Geno Smith is horrible.
I think Davis Mills showed last year that he's not great, but you can win with him if you build around him for sure. I think Seattle is the worst team. I actually think that I don't have much else to disagree with on your list. I do think though that this is it's going to be another bad year for the Bears. Hopefully, Justin Fields stays healthy. They don't get him killed, and they can actually rebuild around him.
Yeah, I just think for the Bears this year, it's just ding dong, the witch is dead at this point, right? That's going to be the story all year. It's like, well, at least it's not Matt Nagy. But Ray, what do you think?
So I got the Jaguars last, bro. Like, I'm sorry. And I understand that Trevor Lawrence is, someone that's going to be revered maybe in a few years. If not, maybe he takes that leap this year. But they were also gone off of it. I know they had a lot of turmoil mainly stemming from the coach, obviously, because of his off the field endeavors. But I just think, to me, Jacksonville has been purgatory for a long time, and to me, until they show otherwise, like, they are the worst team. Now, as far as Seattle goes, obviously, yes, when you lose a future Hall of Famer champion, that's Russell Wilson, of course you're gonna take a step back. Like, it didn't matter who they brought in. Now, the guy that you didn't name, or that you and Mike didn't name, they drafted the kid a couple of years ago out of Washington State. His name was Anthony Gordon. I I I remember watching his tape and wanting New England to draft him a few years ago. I think that he's 6'5", has a good arm, can move. To me, if he emerges in camp, to me, that's the guy that should eventually take the job. I mean, I like Drew Lock. Like, I remember I liked him coming out of Missouri as well, but I just think, to me, if Anthony Gordon shows what he can do, or what we saw on that tape from Washington State, that's the guy that could be the heir apparent to Russell Wilson. And he's already been there. He's already been in the offense. He knows what they're looking to do out there. So, and they may be more pass heavy after losing, Carson this year too, after him retiring, I should say. So, but yeah, but needless to say, Jacksonville to me is the worst team, and let's say, but Seattle definitely got some problems for sure.
I just want to challenge you both to actually go look at that Houston Texans roster, though. It is abysmal, guys. It is.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, they had a good draft though, or at least in the first round. They got Stingley, right? They got Stingley.
Yeah, they got Stingley's good, yeah. But he's literally already he's already the best player on that team, and he's a rookie. You know what I mean? I just saw it as like, so first of all, you go 32 through 28. They all could be the worst team in the NFL if you really look at it. The reason why the Seahawks and the Falcons didn't get there is because they do actually, mainly the Seahawks, they actually do have some ballers. You know what I mean? They have Metcalf, they have Lockett, they have Rashad Penny, who at the end of last season literally won me 2 fantasy football championships. So I think he's pretty good if he's healthy, I guess.
Right.
But I completely see where you're coming from, though, because like I said, that's literally the worst quarterback competition that's ever existed in the history of quarterbacks. Like it can't get much worse than looking at a quarterback room being like, I gotta fucking start one of you two.
Carolina's pretty bad right now, too, though.
Yeah, and they're definitely in that conversation too. I thought I was gonna get some more pushback about the Steelers. Now, are you guys okay with the Steelers at
No, but you just go. Well, okay. So for those that haven't listened to us, if you've been under a rock, welcome to the show. I'm one of your hosts for the evening. Good to meet you. Pittsburgh has been a cause for internal strife on this show. For whatever reason, hey Leah, how are you? Y'all not going to do well this year. I'm just putting that out there. But good to thanks for listening, friend. But yeah, Pittsburgh is not good. Once again, they lost a Hall of Fame quarterback as well. And much as we say that Big Ben wasn't who he was the last few years, he's still a Hall of Fame guy. So Mason Rudolph is not that guy. I think did they draft someone in the first round this year?
Yeah, but they also had Bill Trubisky.
I mean, he's okay, but I don't envision him being. He'll never live up to being the number 2 pick. And once again, if you went behind him, it's just like, bro, like how can you even justify that, right? Obviously, he's not Ryan Leaf, but at the same time, to cross sports, like he's more of like a Milicic right now of the NFL for that draft. And that 2017 class overall is loaded, like loaded. That class was really deep. So he just happened to be the guy that is subpar right now. But who knows? If there's anybody that can get him to coach or play at the par, it is Mike Tomlin. And I know we have our jokes about him on this page, on the show at times, but Mike Tomlin is going to be in it somehow, some way. But I still don't think that they're going to do. They may be 9-8. I don't think they'll go ahead, but they're not going to win anything crazy. And I know we're not getting into records, but that's just kind of what my mindset is around that team right now.
Yeah, I feel like where you had them, Bobby, is pretty on par with where they should be. The one thing I'll say though is I think Mitch Trubisky is an upgrade at quarterback based on what they had last year. And if everything else goes according to plan, and I think they have a chance to win 10 games. They went 9-7-1 last year. So yeah, I think they're kind of in that lower, like stuck in like maybe the upper stuck in limbo echelon of the rankings, but they're 2 players away from being back in like the top 12 for me.
Najee Harris is the problem too. I want to make that clear. Like
Oh yeah,
Najee Harris is a problem. That's the next Harris I wanted on the Patriots as well. Like I thought that he would be really good next to Damian Harris or whoever they had at the running that position. And we'll get to them shortly. But yeah, Najee Harris is like that. And once again, they're a wide receiver factory up there in Heights Field. So they gonna have guys that ball. So Claypool, you gotta stop talking as much as you talk, but just go out there and play.
if there was one team out of this group, then we'll move on. One team that you think could surprise and make the playoffs, who do you think it is? Mike.
Honestly, Jesus.
Are you gonna say it? Are you gonna do it?
Oh God. No, I mean, I don't know. I think
No one? Not one?
I got a team, but I'm just waiting for Mike to.
the Steelers, dude. Like there's that's it. I don't think that there's, I'm looking at that list and there's no one else that even pops out to me.
If Ray, you go first.
So I'm actually going with someone in your division. I'm going with the Commanders. I think Chase Young is that made us different. And
he's there, Micah Parsons.
Y'all found out his year how much like that dude is different. So and I was there. I mean, I know getting Carson Wentz. I mean, we'll see. He really is Mr. Jekyll and Hyde. That is not a that's not a prediction. That's definitely a spoiler. Like he is definitely Jekyll and Hyde. But I think that Washington stays healthy. Remember they made the playoffs 2 years ago, so it's not like it's far removed. I think that I like Ron Rivera as a coach, and I believe that the defense will be where it needs to be if healthy, and they can find a way to get Scary Terry up there and doing some damage. I think that they can find a way to get into that wild-card spot for sure.
Yeah, but Carson Wentz is
He's awful. He's so bad.
I mean, he's just so bad. So bad.
Just if the Commanders they better hope they don't get to a win and in playoff game at the end against the Jaguars, the worst team in NFL history, to get a playoff spot, or else they're screwed. That's all I gotta say. Mine's gonna be kind of a shocker. I think if things go right, I really like the Jets roster.
Wow.
I really like it. I really like. If you look at their draft, man, to come out, so it really depends on the rookies. If the rookies show out, if Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner are what they're cracked up to be, listen, those two dudes are studs. Corey Davis is a stud. CJ Uzoma over from Cincinnati. Breece Hall is running back, also a stud. I just think if things go crazy,
Corey Davis is a stud.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Stud,
not a stud. He's an above average wide receiver. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Is that better?
I mean, we have three of those in the Patriots. So,
yeah, but
I just think if Zach Wilson plays elite level, which I think he is capable of, I do think that there's a chance they could sneak in, man, because I just don't think that division's that strong this year. You know what I mean? Like, I think the Jets could possibly do it.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead, Mike.
Let's just say, Bobby, you're right. Like, if Zach Wilson plays like his mom's best friend's legs on the line, then yeah, like he's gonna work his ass off. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Ray.
It was the best offseason storyline so far.
Jesus, I don't know what I was about to say. I just, damn it, Mike. It's been a week of this with you and me, but oh my God, no, Mekhi Becton being hurt though. And possibly out for the year, it's a big blow for the Jets, obviously. So I think that they got to find a way to scheme around that, obviously, because he, obviously was one of the better linemen coming out in the draft he came out of, and was a big part of what they were going to do on offense. So yeah, they can find a way to scheme around that. Then yeah, I mean, of course, listen, we all want to scream JETS just end the season. Like that's what I want to scream that, come December, but. Yeah, I mean, they could sneak in, but I was surprised we didn't show any love for the Saints either. I think
kind of forgot
they might find a way to. They might find a way to get in there too. They might find a way. I know Sean Payton left, but I think Jameis.
Michael Thomas is back.
He's a character, but I just feel like he can mess around and still get 35 touchdowns. The problem is it may be 25 picks in there, But
Right.
they're gonna find a way to score with him at quarterback, and he still got some playmakers down there. So
yeah, we'll just move right along then. So next we got 19 through 10. So, or 20 through 11. What the fuck am I talking about if I could count? So we got 20 through 11. We got Vikings at 20. We have your New England Patriots at number 19. We have Miami Dolphins 18, Titans 17, Browns 16, Cardinals 15, Eagles 14, Colts 13, Broncos 12, Raiders 11. Oh, no, actually, I flipped those. So Ravens 11. And then we move them into the top 10. So what do you think? Who jumps off the page at you at this? I know there's going to be some disagreements here.
Yeah. I know what you're looking for here, Bobby, but I'm just looking at this list, and I see like 4 teams that you just worked your ass off for to make sure that the Cowboys get in the top 10. I mean, there's no way that you think that the Cardinals are 6 levels below your team. Like that doesn't make any goddamn sense to me. So yeah,
I haven't said them yet. All right.
Yeah,
so
well, I'm saying them. Do the math. If I think you have the Browns too high, just based on the fact that we don't know what that what the situation is going to be with Deshaun. We know that Goodell's he's going to appeal it, try to get a full year. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with where you've put the Patriots. I mean, that feels right. I mean, you have, I already talked about them, but the 3 teams, Dolphins, Titans, and Cardinals, to me, are way too far down that list. And I can't justify that without just saying that you just needed to make sure that your boys were in the top 10. And they are, because you haven't named them yet.
Before I retort, Rayshawn, go ahead.
The Cardinals should definitely be higher. I feel like you were singing Kyler Murray's praises on the show last year, so I'm a little shocked that you had them this low. Maybe because they don't have D-Hop for the first few games, and they may invest in with the injuries, but they on paper should be at least a top 10 team, in my opinion. Mike is higher on the Dolphins than I am, but I get it. When you find a way to get Tyreek Hill, and you have Gesicki, you have a lot of weapons on offense. Honestly, I'm just gonna be, I'm always gonna be me, but I'm not looking for them 6. How they finesse Flores, I hope they go 5-12. I'm sorry. So maybe my analysis is being judged by or being clouded by that nonsense that went on. But yeah, on paper, sure, there's talent there is, but I'm not wishing any good fortune for that team down there.
Yeah, I mean,
and for those that listen to me from down there, what's up? Y'all know the number. Y'all can call, y'all can text, whatever. We can laugh about it. I'm talking to you again. See what's up, bro. I'm good. So that day, once again, yes, the talent is there. If I'm might put my analyst cap back on. Yes, the talent is there, but like I said, I just, to me, I don't see it right now. But like I said, I may be proven wrong.
But before you tell me that I'm an idiot, Bobby, I just want to go back to Miami. Yes, what they did to Flores is ridiculous. It's happened way too many times in that league, especially like we talked about on the 617 show. How they brought that asshole Matt Patricia in to replace Caldwell after 2 winning seasons. Like this just happens, but it shouldn't. But on paper, right? If I take your analyst cap and put it on my big dome, they needed another skill wide receiver. They got it. They needed to shore up the offensive line. They did that with Terron Armstead and Connor Williams. So they should be, I would say 2 to 3 wins better than they were last year. And I think that puts you in top 10, 12.
The thing is with the Dolphins, though, so before I defend my decision.
Yeah, go ahead, LeBron.
With the Dolphins, is I think losing Flores is a way bigger deal than people are making it. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, he's a top 5 head coach in this league. And there's no doubt in my mind, bro. He brought a team that was 0-8, and they won 9 straight goddamn games. Or was it 9 or 8 straight? 8 or 9 straight.
Something like that.
Yeah. I took a garbage team and almost brought him into the playoffs last year. You know what I mean? Like they were in the basement. They were dead. And because of his coaching, because of who he is, he almost got them back to the promised land. It's crazy to me that they fired him. And I know the hell is the new coach's name?
Mike McDaniel, whatever.
McDaniel. Yeah, I know McDaniel's a good coach, but I think that's a big loss. If you're asking me, that's like firing Flores and bringing Mike McCarthy. You know what I mean? It's just like I can't comprehend it. I can't comprehend letting go of Flores after that job and thinking that your team's just going to be able to move forward and be an upper echelon team again. That's why they're so low.
Yeah.
The Cardinals, it is because of D-Hop. I know it's only 6 games, but that team looks so different without him last year. I know they got Hollywood Brown, but Hollywood Brown is not DeAndre Hopkins. Chase Edmonds is also gone. Chandler Jones is gone, and I think that's a huge loss, bigger than the one that the Cowboys lost, which is why the Cardinals are 15. I don't know if I believe. I love Kyler. I love the way he plays. He's fastest son of a bitch I've ever seen play quarterback, or he looks fastest. Actually, who do you think is faster, Lamar or Kyle?
I say Lamar.
Yeah, it's not close.
Right.
Yeah.
He's the quickest son of a bitch I've ever seen.
Lamar. And dude, I mean, he's to me he's special. Well, I said I know that's not a popular opinion on the show, but
explain to me, Bobby, and if this isn't just to get your boys where they are, how do you have the number 1 seed in the AFC last year ranked what? What did you rank them? Was it 17? Okay.
Look, well, so when you look at what their season relies on this year, last year they got off to a great start. They already had that momentum rolling when Derrick Henry went down, and they were able to not miss a beat. And you give them all the goddamn credit in the world for that. But when you now have question marks with your running back because of injury history, you lost your number 1 wide receiver. So
yeah, you got Robert Woods, and you drafted Traylon Burks. So
yeah,
like
but
he has to,
AJ Brown, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, if Corey Davis is a stud, fucking Robert Woods is a Hall of Famer.
It's not AJ Brown. AJ Brown's a big loss for that passing.
I don't know. AJ Brown is a big loss. Traylon Burks is supposed to be he's supposed to be similar to his play. We'll see, because he didn't test well at the.
Hold on,
but wait. Also, you got Ryan Tannehill throwing the ball, and if you look at the teams ahead of them, right? You look at the only one I should have dropped back further is the Browns. I'll agree with you there. I just didn't know where to put them. They were such a question mark to me because of the whole Watson thing. With Watson,
yeah.
they're absolutely higher than where I put them. But I just don't. Is there a world where the Titans are a top 10 team week 2? 100%. But right now, looking at how they're built, right? You have question mark quarterback, question mark wide receiver, question mark running back. You have question marks on your defense. The only thing that they don't have a question mark around right now on that football team is the head coach. That's it.
Let me ask you a question, Bobby. I mean, I'm just trying to follow along here because you put a lot of time and effort into these power rankings, and I believe that you believe that they're right. You dropped the Titans 17 spots from the number 1 seed in the AFC last year, right? So we'll just call it like just 13 spots because the NFC had better teams, right? Because of the loss of Hollywood Brown, who went to the Cardinals, but the Cardinals don't make the top 10 because it's not Hopkins.
Different Brown. But no, because
is it a different Brown?
Yeah, it was AJ.
Yeah, AJ Brown.
Where did AJ Brown go?
AJ Brown went
to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well then, never mind. Never mind. I'm wrong. Wrong okay. Brown.
No, it was just.
Oh god!
When you looked at the teams ahead of them, I just saw so much more upside, and I fucking love upside with those other teams. With those teams like the Eagles. Listen, in my notes, I literally have Eagles. The only note I wrote is "fuck the Eagles." I hate the Eagles. Okay, but I really think that they have a solid team this year, man. That they're looking good. The Colts, they were Carson Wentz away from making the playoffs last year. All right. If Matt Ryan can even be serviceable, can be 80% of what he was in his heyday in Atlanta, I think the Colts are a really good team. We got Broncos country, let's ride, and then the Ravens. So those teams I just think are better than the Cardinals and the Titans. The Browns, again, wild card. I don't know what the hell to do with them. But I just feel like those teams that are right above them are better than the Titans and the Cardinals. And yeah, with the Cowboys, listen, I'm a homer. What the fuck do you want from me? All right. Of course, I'm going to put him into the top
Fairness.
10.
Fucking fairness, Bobby.
Well,
That's
it's
all.
the first one, man. It's the first one. I got hyped. But look, this is the same guy that picked the Cowboys to go 13-3. First year Mike McCarthy was in town. All right. So,
Correct.
But hold on, before we go on to the next part. So
I'm not moving on yet. I can ask you another question. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, I wanted to go back to, because we touched on New England briefly, and then we came back. So I know you had it been 19, and so Mike gave his synopsis on that. So yeah, I think 19 is fair. I might maybe 2 more spots up, maybe. So in other words, we really have just outside of the playoffs. That's what we're saying. Like they're going to be a team that's they're a fringe playoff team right now, and I think that is fair, right? I think that there's people that will listen to this and won't want to hear that and say that we're being negative as like other pundits in this area, but it's like, no, we're being realistic. Like, yes, of course we want New England to go 14-3 and run the table. Duh. But right now, that's not realistic. Will they look different in December, in my opinion? Absolutely. But we have to see it. And I'm excited to see the progression of Mac Jones. I'm excited to see what Aguilar and Bourne do. The rookie they drafted today in the second round, Tyquan Thorne, he scored a touchdown in that preseason game today. So, that's encouraging, because he's already done more than what Nick Harry did. So I just had to put that out there. That was for you, Craig. So yeah, like I don't know. I think, to me, they're a little close. Like, even though they're a French team, but to me, I maybe would have had them at maybe 15 or 16, because I feel like they will be one of those wild card teams that do not win the division unless everything falls right. But that's just I just want to give my piece on that, because I'm shocked at how well they were placed on this list. I thought they would either be wildly placed like 27, or they would be too high, like 10 or 11. It's like, nah, between 15 and 20 was about the correct placing.
I mean, I think they're going to be a 9-8 team. Their win is like, what is it, 8.5? That's their over under. I think that if what is it, 14 teams now that make the playoffs, right? 7 on each side.
Yeah, 7 on each side.
Yeah, I think they're about 4 back of the wild card. I said it earlier this week. I think that we are closer to the Jets than we are to the Dolphins and the Bills in this division as it's currently constituted.
I think if this list came out 2 weeks ago, they would have been higher. The reports coming out of camp are very worrisome. Usually when you're coming
Bobby,
when you're coming out of camp, you want every all around the NFL. There are positive reports everywhere you look coming out of these camps, right? The only 2 camps in the league where it's been negative is the Cowboys, because we're always fucking negative, and the Patriots. And it's been all the beat writers, every single one of them, man. Yeah. And that's so. And the Matt Patricia thing, a D coordinator running the offense. I don't know how overblown.
Don't call him a D coordinator, please.
The former defensive coordinator and former head coach. It's just it doesn't look promising. However, you guys know I'm high on Mac Jones. That's why they're as high as they are. I like Mac Jones a lot as a quarterback. So,
but the people that Mike Reich has said were performing well have performed well tonight. So Uche has looked good so far in this game from what I saw before we got on here. Anthony Jennings has looked really good. And I'm like, I said, we've been waiting. And I'm just like, they drafted some linebackers the last few years, but, we haven't seen them on the field. Ronnie Perkins was out there tonight. So, that's the next step to see. And once again, the defense may be the thing that carries us eventually. But if that's the case, cool. I just care about winning. I don't care how it looks. I don't care if it's 14-10. I don't care if it's, 31-17. Like, just find a way to win. Shout out to the late great Al Davis. Just win, baby. That's all I care about.
So they're not going to win, Ray. I mean, you're not going to be interested in much of this season. If the best parts that are coming out of Patriot camp are how good the defense is played, and that is relative to how shitty the offense is. Yeah. I think you just better buckle up.
I mean, listen, we're gonna go on rants regardless, so we know this. So I'm just saying, we'll come out to me, like I said on the show the other night. If it's we're not gonna be Patriot come week 1. I get that, But if it's week 6, week 7, and they are 2-5 like they were last year, then yeah, rip them to shreds. You should. Like, it's the same thing when we talk about the Red Sox or just others. Like, if the teams are playing poorly, you're allowed to critique. You're allowed to go off about that. It's not about being present in a moment. It's about seeing what you see on the field. They were trash. They had not played well.
Yeah,
I was pissed after that Cowboys game last year. I didn't care if they went back and forth, but I was hot. I was hot when they lost that they could not win at home. That's another thing too. Win some days at home, and once again, not going to hijack us into so, but find a way to win at home. So I know you had another question, Bobby.
Yeah. So first on the Patriots, I just feel like they're at a different place right now where it's about how they look and what they're progressing like this year. I think I'm with Mike. I think it's going to be a tough year for the Patriots. I think 8-9, 9-8 sounds about right. But I think what you guys want to look for, biggest thing is, what does Mac Jones look like with a new offensive coordinator? Because it could go really well. Mac Jones takes off in the second year. He looks awesome. We've also seen really bad second year slumps, and it scares the shit out of me that you guys have an unproven offensive coordinator coming in off a team off a quarterback that looks so good his rookie year. It could go so bad so fast, and that scares me because I love Mac Jones. So if I gave you a pool and you were picking a Super Bowl winner and it was only these 9 teams, who would you take?
Cardinals.
Is that just to spite me?
I mean,
no, I'm with you, Mike. I'm with you.
Yeah,
you're telling me that you just have to weather a 6-game storm without D-Hop, and then he comes back, and now you're firing on all cylinders.
Yep.
Their
December swoons don't scare you.
Andy Isabella, they got some guys over there, man. They got some guys there. So it's once again, D-Hop is that guy. He's nice. Don't get me wrong, but they'll be okay. I can see them going 4-2 until he come back. I can see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so move on to the top 10 for this. We'll go. I'll just do the 10 through 5 here, and then we'll get to the top 5. So number 10, these are my darlings of the year. I'm so high on this team, and that's the Las Vegas Raiders. I think the ceiling is the limit with this team. I really like the Raiders this year. 9, Cowboys. They're my boys, guys. I'm sorry, and I feel like they're going to take another step this year. I think CD is going to be unreal this year. And with Zeke and Pollard in that backfield and that defense, if the defense is 95% of what it was last year, we're going to be good, guys. That defense was so good. They blew that playoff game. If they had beaten the 49ers, this wouldn't be crazy. All right. But yeah, go ahead. Mike, what were you going to say?
This is a very interesting choice of words that you think they're going to take another step forward this year, when in fact they probably took too many steps in the postseason.
That's hilarious. A Dak Prescott run joke. That won't get old.
It doesn't it may. It's just amazing to me that you think a team that trades away Amari Cooper, loses Cedric Wilson, improved. Like that
I said it's time this year they're going to take a step forward. And I think that there's a lot of, it opens up so many more targets for this team. And CD is going to be unreal this year. Unreal. Just wait.
Hey, that's what's unreal too, brother.
All right. So anyways, number 8, we got the 49ers. Numbers. Did you drop a Des Bryant reference? Did I skip over that?
Yeah, I was like,
don't do
number
that
8 was unreal too for a while.
Yeah, and then we cut his ass. Anyways, 49ers, number 8. Chiefs, I know it's kind of low for them, number 7. And then we got Chargers at 6, and then we'll hold off on the top 5.
Wow.
So what do you think about my 10 through 6 here, guys?
You got Kansas City above. I mean, you got LA above Kansas City.
I sure do.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised. First of all, that division is absurd. If you think about that division, right? We got four top 12 teams in the same division. That division is going to be crazy this year.
Yeah, on paper, there's going to be someone that flops to you like, wow, I can't believe that they didn't do as well. It's going to happen. It has to. It's by default. But Justin Herbert. And I know you was high on Herbert as soon as he came out. Jeff, as soon as we did the show, we were talking about how Herbert was going to be the guy, and you were correct. My only concern with LA, they cannot stay healthy. Just saying it doesn't, like, they can start out well, and then it's like Derwin James gets hurt, and I know they brought over JC Jackson. I know they brought over Van Noy over there from us, but
Khalil Mack too.
So Mike Williams, I like Mike Williams' games. I love Keenan Allen, top 10 wide receiver, maybe even top 5 in some of this book. I get that. They just don't stay healthy enough. Like, that's the only problem. Like, and as far as Kansas City goes, like, of course, listen, it's okay to have them on the top 5. When you lose Tyreek Hill, yes, we know 15's a bad man. We know 15 is different. That dude is lethal. From the no-look passes, like he's one of the best we've ever seen already. I get that. They're going to miss Tyreek Hill, but I still have them ahead of the Chargers. We'll see. I know they got some guys they've been excited about coming out of camp, but they got a kid named Isaiah Pacheco. Then they drafted Sky Moore as well. Well, I think those two guys are gonna be, Tyreek Hill replacements. So
those are big shoes to fill, my friend.
They are big shoes to fill, but if there's anyone that can scheme them correctly, it's Andy Reid. And to me, you got to put old yellow to sleep, so to speak. And, I know that's a terrible reference, but that's the first thing that came to mind. That's what Kansas City is in that division. They are still the, cream of the crop. That to me, so 15 is still that guy in that division. Once again, I can't wait to see how it unfolds, because I think there's going to be some serious games in there. But yeah, like if it's not Kansas City, I actually think Denver's going to be the team that takes it because of Russ eventually. But that's the whole other topic for another day.
I just think Kansas City's, I know, so it's very possible Mahomes elevates that wide receiver room and turns them in to all-stars. That is 100% a real possibility. But as it stands right now, I think they're maybe a top bottom 10, maybe bottom 5 wide receiver room in the NFL. That there's not much speed or skill in that wide receiver room at all. You have Juju, who hasn't been Juju within 3 years. MVS, Valdez-Scantling, he's good, but he's not a number one. They literally don't have a number one wide receiver on this team. If you were to take, so I know, but if you were to take every wide receiver in the NFL and list them out, it would take you maybe 80 spots before you get to a Chiefs wide receiver. And I just don't think that's a place you want to be, regardless of how good your quarterback is. It's just not a position you want your star quarterback to be in. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Juju Shabba returned just over there, though.
It's like I said, that's very possible. But when you're looking at it on paper, the Chargers are so much more talented than the Chiefs. They really are.
We don't disagree there, though. We don't disagree there. I just, can they stay healthy is the thing. That's the most thing. I don't disagree about the talent. If the talent is there, that's not the dispute. That's not the argument. If someone says otherwise, they're cooked. But I'm saying, like, that, can they be on the field? Because if not, like I said, it's going to be between 15 and 30. So that's how I see it. I know people are high on the Raiders too, outside of you, but like I said, I done seen Russ do what he do when he has some real guys around him. So I said KJ Hamler, my guy Jerry Jeudy, Corey's session. That dude is a beast when it comes to running routes. And the Cortland Sutton, like, he's coming back from the ACL injury. Like, it's gonna be a problem. They're gonna be a nightmare for a lot of teams. So, but like, so we'll see. We'll see. But it's gonna be must see TP week in, week out. That's for sure.
Bobby, I'm not doing this on purpose.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I'm trying. Okay, so you think that the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver, like tight end and wide receiver, we'll just say wide receiving core is a bottom 5. You think that your Cowboys are better than their wide receiving core?
Yes, 100, bro. CeeDee Lamb instantly makes it better. He's a top 20 wide receiver in the league right now.
Who's your number 2?
We don't know that at this point, but
Cedric Wilson.
Yeah, no, Cedric Wilson's in Miami, bro. Jalen Tolbert.
Oh, we lost it. Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah, Jalen Tolbert looks pretty good. James Washington.
You should put a little respect on the names of Juju, Mecole Hardman, Marquez, Valdez, Scantling, and then their number 4. If whenever he wants to, he can still pop up. Josh Gordon.
I forgot they had Josh Gordon.
Their wide receiving core is not five times, is twice as good as the number 9 team on your power rankings. However,
our defense is way better though.
That's not the point of this argument because I didn't say that. I think the LA Chargers, they had like one of the best off seasons that I've ever seen. I think, Justin Herbert is the real deal. Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson. Although I think we're going to find out real soon.
Forgot about Khalil Mack. Forgot about him over there.
Yeah.
I think we're going to find out real soon that J.C. Jackson, like, he's good. He's not great, but it is Mahomes' division until he's not there anymore. It goes through KC. So yeah, I am a little surprised that you put the Chiefs behind the Chargers. I'm also, I don't disagree. This is a weird feeling to me because I don't really disagree with your 10 through 6. I just can't really fathom that the 49ers are in the middle of the Cowboys and the Chiefs for you. So you think they're better than the Cowboys, and they're just one off of the Chiefs.
If I think about, this is how I rationalized it. If I think about a team that could benefit the most out of adding a freak athlete quarterback to what they were doing last year and what they have been doing, it's the San Francisco 49ers. And Trey Lance is that. So if Trey Lance is what he's chalked up to be, and you put him in where they had Jimmy G, probably the most average quarterback in the history of average quarterbacks in the NFL. If you put Lance in there and all of a sudden a play breaks down and he's running for 40 yards and he's throwing bombs down the field, the sky's the limit for that team because they are stacked, man. The 49ers are a really good team. It hurts me to say that, but I got to give respect where it's due. And that's why they ended up above my boys, especially because they knocked us out last year. All rationality goes away when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. Okay.
Right.
It's like my weak spot when it comes to
is it?
I don't know if you noticed that.
Because you just said that the Chiefs, who had 4 All-Stars in there, or 3 former Pro Bowlers in their wide receiving core are a bottom 5 wide receiving core, and that yours is 5 times better because of 1.
I did not. You put those words in my mouth. I never said that they are 5 times better.
You said that they were a bottom 5 receiving core. That's exactly what you said.
I agree. Listen. I completely agree with that statement. I think that
you think that there are 27 better receiving cores out there.
Yes, 100. Listen, when you look at instantly, you just go to the number 1 wide receivers. All right, you have at least probably every single number 1 wide receiver. Maybe 1 or 2 aren't as shitty as what. Who's even their 1? Scantling?
No,
MVS is going to be their 1.
Juju's going to be
Juju's the number 1.
Juju's not a 1 though. Juju's a slot. Juju is not a 1 wide receiver.
What's happening? You say for that roster, when I talk about what he was at Pittsburgh next to AB and to whatever, and Kansas City as it's currently constructed until something else happens, Juju Smith is the 1, Belichick is probably your 2, and then Mecole Hardman is probably your 3 because he's going to be the guy that's in the slot.
I don't trust Juju as a 1, man.
Guy Moore's going to do something for them because that's the guy that they got him at 54 after trading with New England in the offseason. I mean, during the draft, I should say. Sky Moore is going to make noise for them because the dude can run super fast as well. That Pacheco kid, I've been watching tape on him because my homeboy Chris is a fan of him. He was telling me about them. Like, so they still have. It's going to look different without what they had, obviously, because Tyreek Hill was obviously a cheat code. But like I said, I cannot count them out fully like we did at times last year. And they still found a way to get to the AFC Championship game. Like it's out of control. It's out of control. Like to me, he just has it. He has it. He has it. And I'm like, man, this dude he's just special. But I keep saying it, but I'm excited to watch what happens in the AFC West for sure.
Yeah, that division is so stacked. I don't think I've ever seen 4 teams in the same division. And listen, the Broncos possibly could be in the top 10. So there could be 4 in the top 10.
The NFC West was stacked at one point, though.
Like this is crazy.
San Fran, Seattle was dope, and then who else?
The Rams and the Cardinals were not good or like really good at the same time.
Yeah, this is going to be absurd this year. We've never seen anything like this. The 4 top 10 quarterbacks in the same division at the same time. Yeah. And yes, I just called Derek Carr a top 10 quarterback because I'm going to go to them next.
No.
So listen. Listen. Actually, he might not be top 10.
You can't
I don't have the list in front of me.
Let's move on.
But no. I'm moving over to it right now. So to me, last year, he proved so much, man. That team went through fucking hell. I've never seen a team go through what that team had to go through last year. And Derek Carr still threw for almost 5,000 yards. He had, I think he had 23 touchdowns with his number 1 wide receiver getting in a fatal DUI crash in the middle of the season, with his head coach getting fired in the middle of the season. Guys still led him to the playoffs. And now what do they have? Oh, the best wide receiver in football and his best friend from college. So I think this is going to be the year of Derek Carr. I really do. He's going to be unreal this year. Just wait. I'm telling you. Disagreements? No, maybe?
No, I mean, listen, if you look at the numbers, I just saw a picture come out. Mike Evans' numbers are just as good as Devontae Adams, just saying. But, you don't get the same loves that Devontae gets, and I don't know why. But that's another debate for another show. But Mike Adams is just as good. But just look at the numbers. But yeah, Derek Carr went through a lot. Yeah, we did. And I thought Ruggs was going to be really good for them. I think he had some moments. Obviously, last year, unfortunately, that stuff happened. With that car crash. So, obviously, his career and life. Forget about the career. His life is forever changed behind that tragic accident. So that's that. But yeah, I don't know. Top 10. That's tough. He did have top 10 moments last year, so I can't dispute that. But they had the game against Cincinnati, and they just couldn't get it done. So I'm excited to see where you have, the Tiger King in them. But who's at 5? We used to say 5 yet, but what do you have at 5?
So all right, 5 we got our boy, Mr. Ayahuasca, the Packers.
Oh,
wow.
Number 4.
Wow.
Number 4, we have the Bengals, reigning AFC champs. 3, the Bucks. 2, the Rams. 1, the Bills. I'll rationalize first, okay? So the reason the Bengals step back a little bit, they're not in that top 2 because I just don't think that they were actually a top 2 team last year. You look at that road, and I just feel like Joe Burrow was just an absolute man among boys on that run, okay? He played out of his mind. I just don't think that offensive line can do that again for a second year in a row. Plus, you always have that Super Bowl hangover. And that's a very, very real thing, especially for a team that overachieved the year before to get there. And you can't tell me they didn't overachieve. They absolutely overachieved to get to the Super Bowl last year. No one was thinking the Bengals were going to.
No, sure. That's fair. Jamar Chase is real.
Oh, he's so real. Jamar Chase is real.
T. Higgins and his boy is out there too. I know they lost to another team, but that 3, I take that trio against any trio in the league. You just said he was a man amongst boys. That's not about to stop. And their line is terrible. Their line was trash last year. It didn't get better as time went on. He was still getting smacked in the playoffs. He did enough. And I honestly, Mike called it early on. I think we did a show on the divisional round. You go back and check that out because that was one of our better shows. But I think Mike, you called Joe doing this thing, and I was kind of skeptical. And I was like, man, Mahomes is Mahomes. But Mike was like, hey, all you gotta do is score 27, and that's that's exactly what they
did. That was crazy.
And like spot on, and it went on to the Super Bowl. So that was crazy. That was one of our better premonitions on the show. Like that was awesome. That offense is real. And then I think they drafted Daxton Hill out of what's his name escaping me when we did a draft show and I was on it. Lord, Michigan. Michigan. So he was from Michigan. And,
safety, right?
Safety. Yeah. To me, which we should have drafted the parent, but it's okay. We're gonna get there. But I don't know. Cincinnati, they'll be there. They'll be there. They're gonna be a wreck. Like I know you're high on Herbert, you're high on some. Joe Burrow's not going anywhere. He's not. Like, Cincinnati's back on the map. They're back in business, and it's because of number 9. Like, they are a problem, and they'll be a force to reckon with, in my opinion, for years to come.
We all sat here when they drafted Jamar Chase and passed on that offensive lineman and said, yeah, like, that could be tricky. And then they shoved it right in our face and went to the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't know about a gauntlet, but if you have to go against Patrick Mahomes and be down 2 scores after halftime, and you come out of that game, and you're playing in Kansas City and you win, like, I don't know. I think that there's something there. I would almost argue that their game against the Chiefs was their Super Bowl, and that they're going to be itching to get back. But the fucking Packers. All of this talk about you got to have a number 1. You got to have a number 1 wide receiver. They shipped theirs out of town, and they got nothing. They got nothing besides that choke artist at the helm. I understand why you put them in the top 5, but without a true number 1, and I just have no idea what the Packers are going to be doing this year. I know that they brought in, wasn't it Sammy Watkins? They brought in Sammy Watkins to replace Devontae Adams. So don't worry. Yeah, that team, I've been calling for it for 2 years. I hope that this is the 5-12 year of the Packers.
They'll be. Well, I doubt they'll be run heavy, but when you still have Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, shout out to BC.
He's a beast at BC. He was so good.
Yeah, he was real good.
Remember that Louisville run where he tossed that dude like 9 yards?
Yeah, he's a monster. They should run the ball more this year. I know they won't, because as long as number 12 is out there, they're going to throw $1 million a game. I get it. And Bobby, I have to say this because my brother, I love you. I feel like this is Aaron Rodgers PTSD for you, which is why he is at number 5, because there's no other justifiable reason that Green Bay should be at number 5. There's no way.
Right.
There's no way. It has to be PTSD. It has to be. And once again, I'm not clowning those, I'm saying, but it has to be Aaron Rodgers PTSD, because I know what he's done at Dallas. I know what he's done to other teams in the NFC. They're not a top 5 team this year. No way.
Yeah,
no way.
It absolutely is PTSD. I
appreciate the honesty.
Aaron Rodgers scares the shit out of me, man. Yeah. Anytime I see him, because listen, you guys can call him a choke artist, but I saw him pull off the most improbable 3rd and 27 of my entire goddamn life, and it shattered my heart onto the floor. And I also think that Alan Lazard is going to have a big breakout party this year. I think he actually is I don't want to say upper tier, but a middle tier number 1 wide receiver. I think he does have the stuff to be a number 1. And also, I've been hearing a lot about this guy, Romeo Doubs. I think we should look out for him. He is really, really good. But I won't disagree with you that it absolutely is Aaron Rodgers PTSD. Plus, the dude does ayahuasca to get ready for the offseason, and we just connect on a spiritual level now. I really like
we do a little more than that, but
so I got to get your opinions here. So the Bills, right? They're my. I already went through them all, right? Yeah. All right. So the Bills are my number 1, and is that crazy? I just look at it as they added so much to such a talented team, and they're so hungry. And to me, they were this year's overtime rule away from beating the Chiefs and possibly getting to the Super Bowl last year. I know that's revisionist history, but like that's
real. That's real. Gabe Davis had
4 touchdowns.
I mean that. And maybe Mike. I know Mike will bring me back to earth if he brings up another game, but I can't recall another game where a wide receiver had that type of impact in the game recently. Anyways, like that was just. I mean, he was getting everything, and Josh Allen was throwing
Moss.
I mean, he was throwing
Patriots days.
He was throwing smoke every time, and Gabe Davis had his hand. But I got to take this time. Me and Craig deserve our flowers for this. We said that Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are going to become a problem. We said this when we first started the show. We said it, and we was like, "Oh, it got stopped. That what are you guys talking about?" I'd seen it from his rookie year. I remember that play that he ran over the linebacker in Minnesota. I said, "Oh, we're in trouble once Tom leaves because this guy plays hard, and he's just figuring out." And he's figured it out, and they are on fire. So yeah, just like Mike alluded to 15 division till he leaves, it may be Josh Allen's division till he leaves as well, because that dude is lethal. Lethal.
Yeah, I understand again why you picked the Bills as number one. I mean, they added a Super Bowl champion in Von Miller to their squad, right? If for nothing else, he will be someone in the room that says, I've been here twice now. This is what you need to do to get here.
Right.
You ranked a few of these positions here today, Bobby, with your heart and with your emotions. I don't know how you have a season where he retires, he comes back because the job's not done. He gets what appears to be a washed up number one wide receiver. I wonder where we saw that before, to pair up with Mike Evans and Julio Jones, and Tom Brady's not, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are not your number one. I mean, I think with Bruce Arians out, I think you get Todd Bowles in there as your head coach. I think it's now like this is gonna be his swan song. I think unless he plays till he's 50, but we've seen this before. Oh, you have a number one wide receiver has a real down year. He's written off. Oh, you bring him over to Brady. All of a sudden he's having a Pro Bowl year. If you think about the fact that if everything goes right, you have a Jerome Bettis looking Leonard Fournette, unless he loses weight, Tom Brady, and then you have Mike Evans and Julio Jones on the other side. It doesn't doesn't
don't
matter.
forget Godwin either.
And Chris Godwin.
They still got Godwin.
Yeah. And Chris Godwin. All right, so
and Russell Gage and Scotty Miller still.
Crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. I literally had the Bucks at one point when I was doing these power rankings, and I just sat there and I couldn't put that question mark of how many years have we been saying this? Is this the year that Brady finally looks like he's 45 years old? And that thought just kept going through my head. I don't think this is good. He looks so good.
The arm talent is there. Like it's unreal. Like he threw it down to Scotty Miller and it hit him right here in his chest. And I'm like, in full stride. I'm like, it doesn't, in the words of Bernie Mac, it don't make no more fucking sense. It don't make sense. They just made him this good. It's wild to me. It's wild. I also have a problem that the Rams were number one either. Like, I feel like, Mr. Championship DNA, which that needs to be a t-shirt for us. So put that out there. Championship DNA, the Rams won. How are they not number one, Bob?
They lost a lot. And, I just look at the roster, the Bills ahead of them, man. And I truly believe in my heart of hearts. We will. I can't believe that's week one. It's going to be so dope. That if the Bills had another possession in that overtime, that game keeps going and they win that game and the Bills are Super Bowl champions. I think that's an alternate universe that actually happened. They were so good. And it was such a heartbreaker that they lost that game. And the fact that Josh Allen threw a game-winning touchdown to Gabriel Davis and then never touched the ball again. He scored a game-winning touchdown with 20 seconds left, never touched the ball again, and lost.
13 seconds.
Unbelievable. No one has ever lost in that dramatic, heartbreaking of a fashion like that, where it's like you really. You did.
Really?
No.
We have, Bobby. We have.
No, I know, but where you did everything right. You scored your game-winning touchdown. They fucking won that game. If Josh Allen's head, he won that game. But 13 seconds?
I'm just gonna give you a pass here. I'm gonna give you a pass for all Boston sports or Patriot fans. When you say that there's never been a more heartbreaking loss or last-minute loss, yes,
nothing will ever top on something ever.
Yeah, there sure has been. But the Rams did lose a lot, but they did add Allen Robinson and Bobby Wagner. So and those are right. Good additions. And,
very good.
And I think Robert Woods that's a big one. OBJ wasn't there all year, so he was a really pivotal part of the Super Bowl for sure. The reason why I understand you not putting the Rams number one, and it's because right now Matthew Stafford has tinnitus in his elbow, and it's saying he's very uncomfortable throwing, and it's It's fucking August. So that's not going to get better with the more reps that you throw it. But
Sounds like Chris Sale, man.
Yeah. But just then stay away from the bikes, Stafford, please. But I think it's in my, like, if I were to do this, which I don't, because I don't have the attention span to do it, it would be Bucks, Bills, Rams, top 3.
Yep.
So I get why you did what you did.
Well, to me, it's Rams, Bucks, then the Bills. Actually,
those are definitely the top 3 teams, right? That's a tier all by itself, if you ask me. Where it's those 3, and then
don't sleep on Cincinnati though. I'll tell you that right now.
I agree, but I just feel like those 3. If you were to make me put money down, which might actually happen, on teams to win the Super Bowl, and you're like, you have to put down every penny you have, 100% is one of those 3 teams.
We got to get back on that. I know we won't talk about it on the show because I know we got stuff, but we'll talk about that. We got to get back on that. we got to get back on the parlay.
But so if you were, besides the Packers, because I know your answer is the Packers, the top 4 teams, if you were to pick a team to miss the playoffs, who would it be?
The Packers number 5.
I know. I said top 4 because you're going to pick the Packers if I included them. So top
Rams.
Because of the Stafford elbow?
Yeah, because of Stafford. Yeah, I just, like, if everyone on every team is healthy, then I would say that the Bengals would probably be the most likely to miss the playoffs. But it's his throwing elbow, and he made some clutch throws in Tampa Bay and throughout that entire postseason run when everyone, mostly me, was saying that his record was 3 in 165,000 against winning teams, and he just shoved that in my face. And if he loses any of his power, then I think you're in real trouble. So yeah, I think the Rams, for that reason, are probably the most likely to miss the playoffs.
Right.
So even though I just gave them credit by not sleeping on them, if on these 4 teams, yeah, it would be Cincinnati. It would be. I still think Rams have enough talent around them to still make a run in the NFC. The AFC is loaded with quarterback play, and I just think that it would be tough to maybe get in there. There's some things that fall right again for Cincinnati. But even though I do think they're gonna have a good season, but out of those 4, I could see Cincinnati taking that step back.
Most abysmal spot on the power rankings, Mike?
Oh, Bobby. All right, so just to piss you off, I was gonna say number 9 with the Cowboys, but I honestly I think number 17 in the Titans is not. You can't do that. Like, you can't fucking do that. They were the number 1 seed in their conference last year, and now their running backs healthier. I don't understand. So I would say it's that, or it's the Cardinals to me. But I think Ray's gonna pick the Cardinals, so I'm gonna pick the Titans.
So I'm actually not picking the Cardinals. I think that the Raiders at 10 was kind of high, and the Raiders should have been a little further back than what they were. And I get it, offseason wise, yes, it makes sense. But as people know, I'm the one who coined the Jesse Josh thing over here. I can't stand Josh McDaniels. So I don't envision it being a great season for them. I know Joe wants them to do well, but I'm all set. Once again, I love Hunter Renfrow. I look forward to seeing him run routes this season. But like I said, having him at 10 to me was a little bit too high. Maybe would have pushed them back to closer to what you had Philly or Indianapolis. Maybe I think they make the playoffs, but having him at 10, I don't see him with the top 10 team this year. But once again, as Mike says, I've been wrong once. I'll be wrong again. So.
All right, fair enough. So that's the power rankings, guys. Man, it feels good to be back, doesn't it?
It took you 30 seconds to get defensive about the Cowboys placement. So this is gonna be a fun season. This is gonna be a fun season for me.
Well, I feel like you guys forget how good that defense was. But anyways, so for missing the point is the real BK Bob Kelly, Mike Marcangelo, Hollywood Rayshawn Buchanan, if I could pronounce your goddamn name. And this is MTP. We are out.
Hey, it's Tim from 50 Years of Music with 50-Year-Old White Guys, the comedy podcast you had no idea you needed. Join Ben, Jeff, and me as we continue our musical road trip back through the years and around the globe. See, just when you thought all white guys were like Joe Rogan, you come across three educators trying to remember when we were cool.
50 Years of Music with 50-Year-Old White Guys.
Electricast. Electricast.
Welcome to Tuning Into Sound Wellbeing, where we harmonise your mind, body and soul. I'm Amanda, your sound therapy expert.
And I'm Stephen, the curious explorer uncovering the mysteries of sound.
Together we explore vibrations, frequencies and the power of sound therapy and tuning forks.
Discover ancient wisdom, reduce stress and tune into a healthier life. Subscribe to Tuning Into Sound Wellbeing today.
Electricast.